Macabre Cast.
The mummy is on the loose, and he's dancing with the devil. You know what that means? It's time for another episode of Macabre Cast. Doc Mark and Chorus, the little mummy, here to bring you another episode of Macabre Cast, where we'll be dropping R's where they belong and adding them where they don't. So while homesick, sitting in front of my TV with Shutter on, I come across a movie that I've known about for years, seen for years, and it's called All Hallows Eve 2. Very little to do with All Hallows Eve, which was Damien Leon's first introduction to Art the Clown. There's no Art the Clown here. I have avoided this movie forever based on what I thought it would be. Decided since I was home, nothing else to watch, to check it out. Wow, was I surprised. I really enjoyed this movie. It's Halloween atmosphere. Again, another anthology like the original, only minus Art the Clown. But I'm going to tell you, if you were going to have a horror movie marathon on Halloween, this might be the movie to kick it off. I really enjoyed it, and you may want to check it out. That's All Hallows Eve 2, and it is on Shudder right now.
Well, you've been homesick. You must have watched other stuff. What else have you been watching?
Lots of Bela Lugosi, and I'm talking about the Bela Lugosi movies that usually nobody watches, like The Invisible Ghost and The Vampire Bat. These are great movies to see Lugosi in because no matter what role he's given, he just 100% gives his 100%, no matter how bad a script might be. So I've really been enjoying those. They've been on Prime. What am I saying? The Vampire Bat doesn't have Bela Lugosi in it, my bad. I just think vampire and I think Lugosi. Gotta cut me some slack, I am sick.
Well, Scary Larry called, and as much as he is Halloween all year long, I think he was wondering about some Christmas horror.
Greetings, Dark Mark. Scary Larry here, and after 110 horror movies, the spooky season may have officially come to an end, but we've got some other holidays coming up that have had some good holiday-themed horror movies. And when you get the chance, I'd like to hear your input on reviewing maybe some Christmas-themed movies like Krampus or Silent Night, Deadly Night, any one of those. You know, we got the upcoming Thanksgiving horror movie I've seen previews for that looks rather entertaining, even though it looks campy as well. Looking forward to it.
Always great to hear from Scary Larry. Scary Larry's the kind of guy that when I go out to see a movie sometime, he and I should go together and give a dual review. Because Larry is, he knows his horror. He's right up there. I don't even know how he manages to get 100 movies in every October. That's crazy. I wish I could do the same. Some October I'd actually like to hold an event. You know, maybe rent out a theater and do a Macabre theater event movie. You know, decide on a good classic horror movie to show. And I wonder how many people would come to that. Would you come to a Macabre theater movie event? Okay, Scary Larry, so I guess you're wondering about some Christmas horror reviews or stuff to maybe put on your list this year if you haven't already seen it. And I've got 4 on here. And I'm going to go first with the Advent Calendar from 2021. I gave this 4.5 out of 5 stars. This was one of the best Christmas horror films I had seen in quite a while. I really enjoyed this movie, and if you haven't seen the Advent Calendar, it's in French. Please check it out. Larry, you mentioned Krampus, and I avoided that movie for years. I don't know why. I probably just was thinking the worst. Krampus from 2015. I gave it 3.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was an excellent movie. Definitely an every year Christmas horror to watch. Another I recommend from 2016 is Better Watch Out, which I gave 4 out of 5 stars. Now, all these movies I'm mentioning, I will include my original written review in the comments. You get more out of it and a little more of why I like or dislike something, because I'm going to add some dislikes on here too. Last is All the Creatures Were Stirring. Not my favorite of all time from 2018. It's an anthology, so some are good, some are bad. I did give it 3 out of 5 stars, and it's definitely worth checking out if you have not. And I'm pretty sure one of the writers or producers of that, I'm sorry, her name escapes me, but she was a writer for Fangoria for years. But All the Creatures Were Stirring. Rebecca McKendry was the writer for Fangoria, who is also a director and writer of this film, All the Creatures Were Stirring. Before I get to my standard watches for every year, I'm going to put out one to avoid, and that's Elves from 2018, which I gave half a star. This movie is putrid. Stay away from it at all costs. So again, on the Facebook page, Macabre Theater, where this YouTube podcast will be posted, I will post in the comments all the written reviews I did of each movie I mentioned. And now the standards that I watch, or most likely watch every year: Black Christmas, the original, obviously; Silent Night, Deadly Night, the original, and the remake, actually. I enjoy the remake of that, Silent Night. And one of the cheesiest of all, but a guilty pleasure, Christmas Evil, with Fiona Apple's dad as the lead psycho in that one. And there you go, Scary Larry. So this is what my family does. They take pictures of you when you don't know they're taking pictures of you. And I look like the biggest sad sack in the world here. This is me standing in spirit of Halloween. And look at my face, and I can tell you exactly what the problem is. That's because there's so many things you want there, and at the end of the day, you can't drop your whole paycheck, although I'm sure some do. And as it is, I spend enough in there. But it's never enough face, I guess.
We got Horror Chat Matt on the line.
Hey Dark Mark, just wondering what your favorite horror movie is to have playing in the background. For me, it's any of the first 5 Friday the 13th. As always, keep up the great work.
Well, Matt, generally if I have a choice, I always like to throw in, I have a lot of discs that have the original theatrical trailers. I have one that has all the trailers from the Hammer films from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and I love stuff like that on the background. Especially during the Halloween season. But I also do, more than likely, if I have other things to do and I can put something on in the background, if it's not something like the Friday the 13th movies, I'm a big Forensic Files nut too. Usually that's on. I just finished watching Mike Flanagan's new miniseries, The Fall of the House of Usher. And I can say I loved it. It was excellent. I think my favorite is his original miniseries, The Haunting of Hill House. And most of you know I love Midnight Mass, but Fall of the House of Usher was great. Each chapter actually did a modern tale of other Poe classics like Pit and the Pendulum, The Black Cat, Telltale Heart. Bruce Greenwood plays Roderick Usher, who pretty much narrates the whole thing, and he's such a great actor, his voice alone, worth the price of admission. If you want to see Mark Hamill play a really dark role, he plays Arthur Pym, the family's attorney, who's pretty much like an old-school gangster. But basically, the miniseries is about a pharmaceutical giant, Roderick Usher, and how his wealth bought him power and privilege, and secrets get revealed as the heirs to the fortune begin dying. Definitely worth a watch. I enjoyed it a lot. Maybe a little bit of a slow start, but it was an excellent miniseries.
So beware, the
seen the thin veil of Halloween. Ghastly corpses, vampire queen, October 31st, Halloween.
Until next time, stay on the road, keep clear of the moors, and beware the moon. But most of all, be good to yourself. This is Dark Mark, signing off. See you soon.